Good day everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Babesy Canson and today's video is to create a word problem with non-parametric data, and we will use one non-parametric test and discuss the result. Here is an example. Suppose we want to know the mean reaction time of subjects is different on 3 different drugs. To test this, we recruit 10 patients, measure each of their reaction times in seconds on the 3 different drugs. The results for each patient are shown below in the table. So since each patient is measured on each of the 3 drugs, we will use the Friedman test to determine if the mean reaction time differs between 3 drugs. So first, let's move on to step 1. So step 1 is to state the hypothesis. So the null hypothesis is mu sub 1 equals mu sub 2 and equals to mu sub 3. So the mean reaction time across the population are all equal. And our alternative hypothesis is at least one population mean is different from the rest. Let's move on to step 2, which is to perform the Friedman test. We will use the Friedman test calculator using the following input. So once we click calculate, then the following output will automatically appear. So next step, I interpret the result. The test statistic is Q is equal to 12.35 and the corresponding p-value is p.00208. Since this value is less than 0.05, we can reject the null hypothesis that the mean response time is the same for all 3 drugs. We have sufficient evidence to conclude that the type of drug used leads to statistically significant difference in response time. And last step is to report the results. Lastly, we want to report the result of the test. Here is an example of how to do so. So a Friedman test was conducted on 10 patients to examine the effect that 3 different drugs had on response time. Each patient used each drug once. So the result showed that the type of drug used lead to statistically significant difference in response time, where Q is equal to 12.35 and P is equal to 0.00208. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening.